What is that? Oh, what is this?
Oh my god!
Yo!
Hi, how's it going? How are you doing today? Alright, I'll be honest. I kinda wanted Dragon Ball Sparking Zero to just fail. It's the way the community treats any other anime IP that's not Dragon Ball, and Naruto kinda out the door now because everybody mutually kinda like, connections. It's gonna get good later, but I think this might be the first time in the history of arena fighters, mainstream ones, two communities could probably come together for once. If y'all don't know the history of anime arena fighters, y'all know that a lot of people in the FGC don't mix well with them due to either games having lack of basic features like freaking lobby where people can play games and lab stuff out, bad training modes that are just subpar and still back in like 1990, games just generally being broken or unbalanced. See, I strongly believe that the most important arena fighters, either A, people don't give a chance because they look ugly, which is understandable, and this is Sony's fault. I blame this on Sony, that a lot of y'all care about graphics over gameplay nowadays. Let me ask a straight up question to y'all. If Sparking Zero looked like Jujutsu Kaisen Curse Clash, would you have cared? Maybe because it's the period I've grown up in. I've grown up in the 90s. I'm showing my age here, but like I've played anything that looks like sprites, the shit that look like Wukong. I think every game has its own stylistic choice, or some had hardware limitations that weren't available at its time. So be honest, answer me down below, would you still play that game if it looked like Curse Clash? Now, number one, I almost wrote off Sparking Zero, like I said earlier in the video, because first and foremost, anime games like to do this thing is that they show you the pretty stuff first, the technical important stuff later. That's a common trend with like mainstream anime games, okay? But Sparking Zero, they did two things I didn't think anime games usually would do before launch. For one, they did add versus mode in the game. It is on a hyperbolic time chamber, which for fighting game fans, that don't piss me off at all. Like, yeah, I want more stage variety and stuff like that, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm just gonna play on the training stage most of the time anyways. At most tournaments, people either picking one of the random colorful stages or the tournament stage because they have usually least likely issues in the game. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero Twitter, they came out and said the game has an online tournament mode with spectating mode and a online tournament mode. They already trying to cook some of the major fighting games of this year. Ain't gonna lie, if Sparking Zero beats Tekken, I don't know how I would feel about that. Cause there's no doubt already, I'm gonna tell y'all straight up that Sparking Zero does not play better than Tekken 8, okay? That's cap, that's cap. If you say that in my comments, play more video games. It's also uber important to let the people know that this could be very big for Sparking Zero and fighting games. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is probably on the track already to sell at least millions of copies off rip. I honestly think the game would have probably sold more if the name was just Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi 4, because then everybody would know that off rip compared to Sparking. Sparking is a good thing because they're now uniforming the names and then now everybody can know the same shit. But I honestly think a big factor about the fighting game community that sucks is that we don't have arena fighters there, which is a huge portion of fighting games, believe it or not. Yeah, a lot of the fighting game community players that play arena fighters are way younger or not at the age to where they can travel, go to events yet. The ones that are buying it are the ones that are 17, 18 plus, or they probably still in their mama's credit card, you know what I'm saying? I want to talk about the balancing situation in Sparking Zero because a lot of people have been tripping about this. If you've been around Tenkaichi or known how Tenkaichi works, the game is generally not balanced in the way you think. The game Tenkaichi is way more balanced than you think because you know the characters that are going to be strong and the characters are going to be broken. Cooler, stronger, probably a Saiyan or a bigger transformation they have, the better they're probably going to be in Sparking Zero. However, maybe not in a tournament 7, but like a ranked or casual play, each character has skill counts and they have skill abilities that help them out in battle if you can get them off properly. Hot take, I feel like after Image Strike and Sparking Zero, It's fucking brilliant. But here's the thing about the balancing in Sparking Zero, and we have to talk about this. Not every game that's competitive is 100% balanced. If you seen the recent Dragon Ball Fighters, I ain't gonna explain it to you. Just watch the clip, bro. Is that a balanced game? Be honest to me. It looked fun to me. I might turn on some fighters. I don't know. Now, I gotta talk to y'all about a special quote from one of my personal favorite fighting games of all time that dropped in 2019, Samurai Showdown from SNK. Nobuyuki Kodiyoki said a balance patch will likely be released in the near future, but noted how the reboot was never going to be completely flat. This one about to get spicy for real. He says, I feel that you make everything too flat in a game like Samurai Showdown. It's going to be boring. There's a lot of character personality even among how weak or strong they are. There's going to be some balancing, but we're never going to make it completely flat. I love that because when you have a super balanced game, I don't know. I can't think of a game that's super balanced that's fun for people right now. The closest I can give it to, probably Street Fighter 6, and that's with caveats. Main goal of Samurai Showdown, what he wanted for his vision of the game, Kuroki stated, I really just want more and more people to jump into the game, play it, bring as many playstyles as possible, and keep growing the community. I think that's what needs to happen, is when it comes to these games, I think everybody should give it a try. People complain about balancing in some games, but let's be honest, Mario Kart's not competitive. That shit, Mario Kart Deluxe pisses me off because of the items and how crazy that shit is now. Ooh, I love it, but I have a hatred for it at the same time. Y'all would want to bring up Melee. Yes, Melee as a game, y'all could say if y'all don't agree with it and I don't feel like doing this today, it's a fighting game in my eyes. In Smash Bros, you can turn off the items and make the game way more competitive. The community made a skill set that's way more competitive. What happened with Melee and why you still probably hear about it at least once almost a time every day of your life at this point? Community came out, showed out, and they kept fighting for their beliefs of their game. And I think it's right now that my goal is to do that as well. At the end of the day, I'm not asking for the game to be at EVO 2025 or 2026 or 2027. I just think we need to try a different approach with arena fighters. I think we need to try to include these games into these spaces. If anything, the only thing it could hurt is that the game sucks and we just take it out of the events and stuff like that. The tournament organizers or future online event goers, unless the online just sucks by the way, give Dragon Ball Sparking Zero a chance. I think it being a mainstay at some of these events can help build a new foster people that can help build a new generation of fighting game players. I was fortunate enough to grow up around everything, but like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I went from Ultimate Ninja on the PS2. You know, the Sasuke Ultimate was saucy. I don't care if nobody say the 2 one. I've also grew up with Budokai and Budokai Tenkaichi, all of the games. But that also led to me trying out multiple other fighting games that I may have forgot about, such as Street Fighter 4 and BlazBlue around the time of 2009. At the end of the day, a lot of us are connected through anime. As cheesy as that shit was, oh my god, I couldn't stand that, oh my god. Regardless, I love arena fighters. Probably like, I'm tired of these arena fighters. Why don't they make other anime games like this? The truth of it is, y'all don't support or buy nothing else that don't have the fighting game on it. Let me ask y'all some questions. Did y'all buy Spy Anya this year? Spy Anya this year? Yes, Spy Anya came out. You're probably like, damn, what a fighting game though. Did y'all play Sandland that came out on everything? I think minus Switch for now. Did y'all play that this year? No, because you're only thinking about Sparking Zero. And even then, I can prove to y'all that there's more other types of anime games, and I get it, y'all probably don't like visual novels and stuff like that. That's 100% fine. But like, at the end of the day, the supply and demand always ends up back with Arena Fighter. Did y'all play Demon Slayer Mario Party? That's on everything. Did y'all even play that? I don't want to get too deep into that. Y'all get hot about these things. I'ma let it rock. For example, My Heroes Wants Justice, and a lot of y'all won't agree with me when I say this take. I honestly think My Heroes Wants Justice from a fighting game perspective, is way better than Storm. You have actual unique combo routes that are way more fun to do in One's Justice. The only thing I hate about One's Justice is the camera getting crazy because you're in the airborne and the wall splats. If they mitigate that, that'd be one of my favorite arena fighters personally. Jujutsu Kaisen Curse Clash, everybody roasted the hell out of the game because honestly it makes sense. Jujutsu Kaisen is done by one of the most prolific, most known anime studios right now, MAPPA, which everybody who watches that series knows that the anime gonna look good. Compared to the game, it looks like a paper shoestring in a box. However, I do think even though the gameplay is not perfect, right, it is still one of the most fun forms of an arena fighter we've ever had this year if you actually sat down and played it and learned the ins and outs. Most people don't get that far because of graphics and how it looks, so I understand. But honestly, Jujutsu Kaisen Curse Clash is the next best thing to Dissidia. Personally, if I ever hear somebody say, I love J-Stars, but you hating on Curse Clash, it's the same shit. Well, one extra annoying, but they both annoying in some own way, man. Y'all play these games. And then there's Naruto Storm Connections. Now, I even though like the game's blueprint, but when it first came out, it was very like baby. Like they made a lot of stuff feel very like not fun to even play at that point. It's like the combos were cool, but everything else was like, why? It feels like in Connections, a lot of changes were made to just be like, all right, here's our justification for selling this to you for $50, $60, or $70 at the time. And like, I can't even get hyped for Storm Connections DLC because I think the Otsutsuki are born. They all got some red attack, some cube, or something that just kaboom. Like, it's like nothing unique to me in my honest opinion. When they get to Bluetooth Vortex, we in there. That's when Boruto games and new stuff will matter to me personally. But I think Dragon Ball Sparking Zero has a chance to bridge a gap between all demographics, all types of fighting game fans, and all types of players. Which is why I want y'all to know about Ultimate Burst, which will be one of the best and biggest anime game tournaments of all time. I'll most likely been working on an event behind the scenes, yada yada, and most likely hopefully be a commentator on it. So shout out to Glapu for running this event. It has a pop bonus of $1,500, bro. So go ahead and sign up if you're interested in this video. You got a lot of time. Yeah, more than likely I'll probably be running 1 or 2 tournaments or holding them on stream, etc. for this event. I just want to give y'all a little information because some of y'all be like, where was this? And I'll be like, y'all follow me on Twitter. Stop lying. I know you see him unless you just scroll past my tweets. Y'all don't like me for real. I get it, it's cool. But I think if there's any chance for an arena fighter to probably hit the mainstream within the fighting game space, I think it could be Sparking Zero. Even though I think Bleach Rebirth of Souls might actually cook that concept for me because of what the game is doing right now and how it's been revealing its gameplay and its trailers to us, Dragon Ball is the bigger IP right now. Also, for people that are like, well, Tenkaichi is going to be brain dead, it's going to be that. I mean, yes, it's an arena fighter, but we're not going to ignore like Tenkaichi 3 didn't have a list of all his bullshit. Don't get me started with comparing the differences between the games. And y'all probably like, yeah, why do you care about arena fighters? Why do you feel like they're important to the FGC? Being mad transparent, I do feel like a lot of fighting games would help if we had anime games in there because shonen is fighting. And when you see fighting games and you don't see shonen, that could piss a lot of people off. Again, it's harder to make a 2D fighting game because it costs a lot of money and some developers and companies and publishers don't want to invest money into that. Yeah, it was rumors that Dragon Ball FighterZ almost had Bandai or Arxis to go bankrupt. But I do think instead of writing off as being a one-button game or an arena fighter, everybody should give it a chance and play people that can give you some grit in those games. The back and forth there, you might be like, yo, neutral here is kind of crazy and everybody's trying to be cracked and they playing it. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say today for today's video. You want to see more Dragon Ball Sparking Zero from your boy truly, Avataryaya? Make sure y'all hit the like button and subscribe. I'll be helping y'all with the guides, breaking it down, and getting help from other community members way before my time that was even covering Tenkaichi, you know? I'm pretty decent at Tenkaichi. I don't think I'm the best, but I'm here to help new people along the way as everybody else get into it as well. Because this game is going to be one of the harder arena fighters that drop, in my honest opinion, on the surface level. But you guys are golden, and that is raw. Squalla, peace, and I'm out.
stronger.